During a developer Q&A for Project Playtime on the Mob Entertainment YouTube channel, developers Ben Parlowitz and Mitch revealed that new complicated gaming mechanics will be introduced in Chapter 3, including new grab pack hands, which were later revealed to be the purple grab pack hand and the flare gun. At the beginning of the chapter, the game introduces us to a new character called Ollie who guides the player throughout the game. One odd thing about Ollie is that he is implied to be one of the orphans that used to live in the Playcare. However, it should not be possible for Ollie to retain his childlike voice considering that 10 years have passed by since the disappearance of the Playtime Co employees, and if Ollie was present during that time, he should be around 20 years old right now and should be sounding nothing like this.
The head! It's the home of CatNap, one of the smiling critters. There used to be 8 of them, I think. Now it's just him.
Heavily implying that Ollie may not be a child, but instead another one of the toy experiments lurking underneath Playtime Co with ulterior motives. Chapter 3 is the first chapter of the game to introduce religious aspects in game, such as CatNap worshipping the prototype and building a shrine for it, and the player being called as Poppy's angel by the smiling critters. It even references the end of time as the hour of joy, where the prototype orders the large body toys to retaliate against the humans and slaughter them mercilessly, with each toy metaphorically acting as the horseman of apocalypse, bringing about death and destruction in their wake. It is also in this chapter we come to know there are 2 different factions present in the company, with one residing with Poppy and the other with the prototype, and both are at war with one another. During the hallucination scene of Home Sweet Home, there is a radio that plays a secret message in reverse. If you reverse the audio, it reveals that the hour of joy happened 10 years before the player arrives.
8/1995. I find your presence intrusive. For all this time you return. You come in here and you kill and murder. You pillage and destroy. Your presence was demanded 10 years ago and you didn't show up. 8/1995. You were supposed to be here. Why weren't you here? You missed the event. You missed the meeting. You missed the party. You have no right to be here.
The fact that the Hour of Joy takes place on August 8th could be a reference to the FNAF video game franchise, whose first game released on August 8, 2014. The main antagonist of Chapter 2 is CatNap, or Experiment 1188. CatNap used to be a boy named Theodore Grambell, who was troublesome to the staff due to him getting instructions from his imaginary friend to cause chaos. This friend turned out to be the prototype who instructed Theo to steal a grab pack and help him escape the facility. However, due to his young age, Theo electrocuted himself using the green grab pack by accident, but was saved by the prototype, who, instead of escaping, decided to call for help. This resulted in Theo to be transformed into CatNap in order to save his life, as well as to prevent other orphans from escaping by using the red gas to make them fall asleep. These events show why CatNap worships the prototype, as well as why he was defeated at the end of the game by using the green grab pack. The picture found in game of Theodore Grambell is actually a picture of Ben Rooker, a sound designer and writer for Mob Entertainment. There are various cutouts of smiling critters found throughout Chapter 3, giving insight to their different personalities as well as their fates. But one cutout in particular is that of CatNap. There are no words or dialogues present when pushing the button, but instead gives the sound that is similar to a growl or a purr of a cat, heavily amplified. But after some analyzation, it appears to be a child struggling to breathe. This makes sense in a way that Theodore was severely injured before being transformed into CatNap, so it could be the sounds of him trying to breathe with an oxygen mask in the ICU. There is another antagonist introduced in Chapter 3 called Miss Delight, and her mechanics have been inspired by the Weeping Angels from the Doctor Who franchise, who function in a similar way to Miss Delight, moving only in the darkness or when the player is not looking at her. This one is not likely a fact, but more of a theory on my end. The identity of the player is not known other than he was an ex-employee of Playtime Co. and that he was supposed to be present during the Hour of Joy according to the nightmare sequence of the game. I have a reason to believe that the player might be Richie, a recurring character appearing in various tapes throughout all 3 chapters. He seems to be a hardworking man who does not like the conditions of Playtime Co. He is even demoted once due to his criticism of the company's environment and the way they treat the orphans.
Well, it finally happened. After years of being ignored, the company actually heard all my complaints. Yep, they listened to them very carefully. I guess my words must have really inspired them to take action. Because the next day I got demoted down here to the freaking island of misfit toys! Talk to myself.
He's also the one who Stu, or Stuart, his superior, considers to be his replacement after his retirement.
Stupid clunky elevator.
What was that, Richie?
Nothing. Let's just get this shipment dropped and go. Hello, my name is Elliot Ludwig. When you look around...
I take it you're not a fan of this place, are you?
Nope, never liked the feel of it. I mean, don't you think these kids deserve some real sunlight instead of floodlights and painted skies? Hell, we're not even allowed to talk to these kids. Isn't that... Sorry, Stu.
Sorry? That doesn't sound like the Rich I know.
Well, trying to stop being so pissed off all the time. My wife says I'm a lovely man, but I gotta control my temper. So, I'm doing it for her.
You're just different, Rich. Honest to a fault. But I always liked that about you.
Yeah? Well, you're one of the few.
You know, Richie, with my retirement coming up, they've been pushing hard for me to choose my replacement. I'm thinking about giving the role to you.
Really?
Really? Nothing official yet. But I think there's a decent guy beneath all that graft. An honest, hard-working man. You proved me right. I said your chances are pretty good.
Wow, Geez, I don't know what to say. I'm just glad to see not everyone in this place has it out for me.
Not everybody, Rich. Not everybody.
And after replacing Stu in his position, Richie may have had a change in heart due to discovering about the experiments, as evident by Miss Delight's dialogue of recognizing the player as an employee.
Please excuse the interruption. Students, remain in your seat until the bell has rung, and no going in the halls without a hall pass. Wait, I recognize you. Yes, I remember. You used to work here. How are you? Alive.
Richie might have secretly left the facility sometime before the Hour of Joy, which is why he still kept getting messages from his company to join the meetings and parties and whatnot, and why the player has a proficiency in using the grab packs, because Richie used to work in the warehouses moving boxes using the grab packs. Hence why I conclude that the main protagonist of Poppy Playtime is Richie himself.